Every woman has a special way of talking that she never uses out loud. It is a quiet language that lives in the simple way she moves her body, the tiny parts of herself she chooses to show, and those sweet moments when she lets her guard fall down just for you. If a woman shows you a very specific part of her body, a part she usually keeps hidden and safe from everyone else, she is doing something very big. She is inviting you into the deepest parts of her heart, into her circle of trust, and into the version of herself that the rest of the world never gets to see. This is not just a lucky guess or a hunch. This is about how we are built as human beings. It is about millions of years of our bodies learning who to trust, and right now, her body is choosing you. Today, I want to talk to you about 9 special signs that most men never even notice, but you are different. You are the kind of man who pays attention. Before we dive into these 9 signs that will transform the way you understand women forever, I want to pause for just a moment and ask you for something. If you find this message helpful, if it speaks to something deep inside you that you have always known but never had words for, please consider subscribing to our channel. We are on a mission to help men and women understand each other better, and right now we are working toward 10,000 subscribers. Your subscription means the world to us. It helps us keep creating content that matters, content that goes deeper than the surface-level advice you find everywhere else. When you subscribe, you are not just joining a community, you are saying that you believe in real connection. You are saying that you think understanding people is worth your time. So, before we go any further, hit that subscribe button. Share this with a friend who needs to hear these truths. Let us know in the comments which sign speaks to you the most, because your voice matters to us. Now, let us continue. Think about the last time you were standing near a woman and you felt the mood change. You could not quite explain what it was. The air between the two of you felt different, almost like it was buzzing. She started to move in a new way. Something deep inside your chest felt it before your brain could even put a name to it. That was not just your imagination playing tricks on you. That was the way humans were made to connect. Women do not always use words for the things that are most important to them. Sometimes a feeling is so big, so new, or so scary that there are no words for it yet. Because of that, the body speaks first. It has always worked this way. When a woman shows you a part of herself that she usually protects from the world, it is never just an accident. It is her body making a big decision about you. It is a decision that her heart has already made, even if she has not said it out loud yet. Over the next few minutes, I am going to help you understand 9 of these special moments. These are 9 quiet signs where her body tells you the truth before she ever says a word. One of these, the 7th sign, is so deep in our nature that when you finally see it, every time you have ever talked to a woman will suddenly make sense. But first, we need to talk about what almost every man gets wrong when it comes to how people like each other. This mistake is the reason most men never see the truth even when it is standing right in front of them. Most men think that liking someone starts with the words she says, but it really starts with what she lets you see. Most men are waiting for a woman to tell them how she feels using words, using direct language, using the kind of communication that men are often taught to value. But women are speaking to you all the time in a language that is much older than words. They are speaking to you in the language of the body, the language of space, the language of vulnerability, and the language of trust. Learning to listen to this language is one of the most important skills you will ever develop, not just in romantic relationships, but in all your connections with the people around you. The first sign that a woman is opening her heart to you is when she shows you her neck. Imagine you are talking to her. It might be a quiet night at home or just a regular Tuesday afternoon. In the middle of a sentence, without even thinking about it, she reaches up and moves her hair to one side. Now, her neck is bare and open. She keeps looking into your eyes, and suddenly the feeling in the room changes. You feel it in your heart before you can even explain it. That moment is not random at all. The neck is one of the most delicate and unprotected parts of a person. Since the beginning of time, our instincts have told us to guard our necks because they are so easy to hurt. So, when a woman shows you her neck without realizing it, her body is turning off its own defense system. She is not just being polite or doing something out of habit. This is her internal system making a choice. She is saying that you are a safe man. She is saying she wants you to be closer. You have felt the weight of that moment before, but you just didn't have the words to describe it. When she shows you her neck, she is giving you a look at the most guarded part of herself, and she is quietly hoping you understand what that means. The second sign is what we call the wrist flash. Most people think it is easy to tell when someone likes them, but it is actually very quiet. Sometimes it is as simple as the way a woman turns her hand. Most men have seen this 1,000 times, but never knew what it meant. Imagine she is telling you a story or a funny thought. Her hands are moving and full of life as she talks, and then you see it. She turns her hands so the insides of her wrists are facing you. Her palms are up and you can see where her pulse beats. She is not thinking about doing this. She has no idea she is even doing it, but her body is being very open and close with you right in front of your eyes. The skin on the inside of the wrist is very thin, and you can see the blood moving underneath. In the study of how people move, showing the inside of the wrist is one of the most honest signs of trust a person can give. She is showing you something very real without saying a single word. It is a part of her she does not show to just anyone. It is something most people never even think to look for. The next time you are with a woman you like, try to notice this. Look for open palms and wrists that are not hidden. Then, think about how different that feels compared to someone sitting with their arms crossed and their hands in tight fists. The difference is huge. The wrist is where we are most vulnerable, and she is letting you see it. The third sign is when she touches her collarbone. The first two signs were like soft whispers, but this one is more like a guide. She is leading your eyes exactly where she wants them to go, and she is doing it on purpose, even if she does not know it. Imagine you are having a deep talk. The rest of the world seems to fade away until it is just you and her. As you talk, her fingers start to move slowly and gently along her collarbone. She might trace the line of the bone, or maybe she fixes a necklace that was already sitting perfectly. She might even let her fingers rest in the little hollow spot at the bottom of her throat. She is not just fidgeting because she is bored, and she is not just nervous. The collarbone is the line between what is okay for everyone to see and what is private. It is like a doorway. When she points your attention there, she is testing to see if you will notice her standing at that doorway. This is not just about being comfortable, it is an invitation. It is a quiet way of asking you to look a bit deeper than the surface. She is drawing a little map with her fingers, and that map leads to a place that is only meant for you. When she touches her collarbone, she is not just fixing her jewelry. She is opening a door and watching to see if you are brave enough to walk through it. The fourth sign is when she lets her shoulder drop. This is where things start to change. The first three signs were about being open and building trust. But starting now, we are talking about something a bit bigger. These signs are about an invitation to be even closer. There is a big difference between a woman who trusts you and a woman who is asking you to come into her space. Imagine you are sitting next to her. Your talk has become very honest and personal. The noise of the world around you does not matter anymore. Then, without saying a word, she slowly lets her jacket or her sweater slide off one shoulder. She does it slowly, almost like she wants to make sure you see it. Taking off a layer of clothing when you are with someone is one of the oldest ways humans show trust. It is like she is putting down her shield. She is literally taking off her armor while she is with you. The fact that she does it slowly matters a lot. We know from how the mind works that a slow reveal makes a person feel a lot more than something fast. This is because the excitement does not come from what is shown, but from waiting to see it. What she is really moving out of the way is not just fabric. She is moving the distance between who she has to be for everyone else and who she wants to be when she is only with you. When she lets her guard down one shoulder at a time, she is not just trying to get comfortable. She is trying to get close to you, and she wants you to feel that difference in the air. Everything we have talked about so far was just the beginning. But the fifth sign is where many men make a big mistake. They either miss it entirely or they think it means something else. The fifth sign is the way her inner knee turns toward you. This sign is hidden right in plain sight. It is so small that almost no one ever catches it. But once you see it and understand it, you will notice it every time you walk into a room for the rest of your life. Imagine you are in a group with 4 or 5 other people. Everyone is talking and laughing, but you happen to look down and see her knees. Her knees are pointing right at you. They are not pointing at the group or the door or anyone else. They are pointed directly at you. People who study how we stand have found that we always point our most sensitive parts toward the person we like the most. She is not making a choice to do this with her brain. It is happening deeper than that. She might be smiling and talking to everyone else, but her body has already made a choice. Her knees are telling you the truth that her words are keeping quiet. Her mouth is talking to the group, but her body is having a private talk with you. When a woman's body turns toward you, when there are so many other choices in the room, it is not an accident. It is a decision her heart made before her brain could even think about it. Once you see this, you will never be able to unsee it again. The sixth sign is when she arches her lower back. Most people say that liking someone starts with the eyes, and in the very beginning, that is true. Looking at each other opens the door, but a deeper kind of liking, the kind that makes you want to move forward, does not show up in the eyes first. It shows up somewhere else. This sign is the proof. Imagine she reaches for something on a high shelf, or she stretches out after sitting for a while. For a short moment, you see the natural curve of her lower back. She is not hiding it. She is just letting it be. It is like her body is speaking a language that is much older than any words. It is a language your own body already knows, even if you were never taught it in school. In every part of the world, this curve is seen as a sign of beauty and being drawn to someone. This is not something we learned from TV or movies. This is about the way humans were made thousands of years ago. It is ancient and real. When she lets you see this, whether she knows it or not, it is one of the deepest signs a body can send. That curve is not a coincidence. It is a conversation that your very soul knows how to have. When she arches her back near you, she is not just stretching because she is tired. She is letting a very old part of nature say one word to you. The seventh sign is the hip shift. When we started talking today, I told you there was one sign that changes everything. It is a sign so old and so deep in who we are as people that once you see it, the whole world looks different. This is that sign, and I want you to really listen. Imagine she is standing in a doorway or leaning against a kitchen counter. She moves her weight so it is all on one hip. She rests her hand there and it looks very easy and natural. Then she looks back at you over her shoulder. In that one quiet moment, you feel something very old move inside you. It has nothing to do with thinking or logic. You do not decide to feel it, you just do. It is fast and very strong. Experts who study how humans choose each other have found that the way a woman's hips and waist look is the most important sign of all. It does not matter where you live or what language you speak. When she draws your attention to this part of herself, she is sending the strongest message her body has. She did not learn this from a magazine. It is written into the very foundation of how people are made. Every man has felt this pull before, like a magnet. You felt it, but you could not explain it. Now you know what was actually happening. You finally have a name for what your body always knew was true. When her hips speak, you do not need anyone to translate for you. Every part of you already understands what she is saying. This is the moment when everything shifts. This is when the quiet becomes deafening. This is when you know that something real is happening between you. We are almost at the end, but these last two signs are very important. They happen when the silence between you is louder than anything she could say. The eighth sign is the lip moment. We are now in a place where most men never get to go. It is not because it is a secret, but because it happens so fast. If you blink, you will miss the most honest thing she will ever show you. Imagine you are right in the middle of a talk. The words are going back and forth, and then everything stops for just a tiny second. Her eyes move away from yours and look at your mouth for just a moment. Then, very softly, she bites her bottom lip. It is so small you would miss it if you were not looking. She looks away with a tiny smile. She is not embarrassed or nervous. What happened was that her mind ran ahead of the moment. She was imagining what might happen next even before it happened. When we like someone a lot, more blood flows to our lips. Touching them is a way the brain tries to stay calm when it is feeling something very big. Scientists have found that when a woman does this, she is using the same part of her brain that thinks about being very close to someone. She is not choosing to do this on purpose. Her body is just reacting to a feeling it can't put into words yet. She is not nervous. She is dreaming. When her lips move like that, she isn't thinking about what to say next. She is feeling what it would be like if the talking stopped. The ninth and final sign is when she gives up all the space between you. Every sign I have told you about so far is like a single word in a sentence her body has been writing since you met. But this last one is the whole story. This is the complete truth, and only the man she has chosen will ever get to feel it. Imagine a room full of people. She could stand anywhere she wants. There are plenty of other places to sit and other people to talk to, but she chooses to be right next to you. She is closer than she needs to be just to be polite. You can feel the warmth of her body before she even touches you. Then, her shoulder brushes against yours, and she does not move away. She does not try to make more space. She leans in slowly and quietly, as if the space between you was the only thing she wanted to get rid of. In that moment, you realize that every wall she ever had around her is gone. This is the final way she shows she is vulnerable. Every sign before this was just a hint, but this is the answer. When a woman stops trying to keep a distance between you and her, she has finished making her choice. The debate inside her head is over. Her body has said everything it knows how to say. The only thing left is to see if you were really listening. She is not just standing near you to be comfortable. Being this close is her way of telling you a secret. When she presses her world against yours, she is choosing you with everything she has. She is hoping that you will choose her back. I want you to think about this for a moment. You should never look at just one of these signs by itself. One sign might just be a habit, or maybe she is just feeling relaxed. But when you see 3 or 4 or 5 of these things happening together with the same woman, that is not an accident. It is not just your imagination. It is a real conversation. It is a talk she has been having with you in a language she hoped you would understand. And understanding that language means something that most men never stop to think about. She is not putting on a show for you. She is showing you who she really is. Those are two very different things. The man who can see that difference, the man who knows how much it costs a woman to be that open and to take down her walls, that is the man she really wants. She does not want the loudest man or the one with the best lines. She wants the man who truly sees her. I told you when we started that you are not like most men. Most men will hear this and only think about what they can get from it. But you are here because you want to understand. That quality is exactly what she has been looking for. This was never really about reading a woman's body. It was about reading her trust. When a man can do that, and when he treats that truth with kindness and respect, everything changes. Liking someone was never about having the perfect thing to say at the perfect time. It was always about the quiet language underneath. It was in her eyes, the way she stood, and the way she moved the moment you walked into the room. She has been telling you the truth this whole time. You just needed a friend to help you hear it. Now that you can hear it, you will never forget it. This is not because you learned a trick or a list. It is because you understood a truth that many good and kind men miss their whole lives. But you won't miss it anymore. The best connections between a man and a woman don't start with a perfect talk. They start with a sign that is quiet, honest, and brave. She's been sending those signs all along, and now finally, you know how to listen. If this helped you today, or if you remembered a moment that finally makes sense, think about which sign changed everything for you. Share this with a friend who deserves to hear a kind word. Subscribe to our channel because we are building something special here. We are creating a community of men and women who believe in real understanding, real connection, and real love. We need your support to keep creating this content, to keep reaching men and women who are searching for answers, who are hungry for truth. With your help, we can hit 10,000 subscribers. With your help, we can spread this message of understanding to even more people. Your subscription is an investment in deeper human connection. Your share is a gift to someone you care about. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for being the kind of person who sees beyond the surface. Stay with our group of caring experts because what we have to share next goes even deeper. This talk between us is just the beginning.